Have you ever paid for a luxury wellness retreat and wondered, was this worth all that money? Well, I spent 24 hours at the Glass House Retreat in Essex, England to find out. The Glass House Retreat is an adults-only wellness retreat focused on relaxation, spa treatments, healthy living and digital detox, designed to help guests slow down and recharge. It's about an hour's drive from Colchester, and on a Friday afternoon I set off for what I hoped would be 24 hours of complete peace and preferably no phones. The drive was smooth, and before long I found myself in the peaceful countryside of Orsett, near Upminster. The retreat is literally tucked away between fields and farms. If you keep driving much further, you'll probably end up asking a sheep for directions. The first thing I noticed was plenty of parking right outside. Inside, I was greeted by a lovely receptionist, given a map of the retreat, my room key, a quick tour of the facilities and a refreshing little fruit smoothie shot, already off to a good start. I headed up to my room on the second floor. You can take the lift or the stairs. I stayed in their premier suite, which is the largest room they offer at around 35 square meters. It comes with a lounge area, dining table, a 49-inch smart TV, a super king-size bed, and a bath with shower. My first impression? Spotlessly clean. Although, if I'm honest, it didn't feel quite as spacious as I'd imagined from the photos. Everything you'd expect was there, though. Wardrobe, safe, plenty of drawers, bathrobes, slippers, tea-making facilities, one bottle of water and one lonely instant coffee sachet bravely standing beside several herbal teas. The bathroom had fluffy towels, shampoo, shower gel, soaps and hand cream. There were also some complimentary gifts waiting for me, which was a really nice touch. One thing I genuinely loved was the decor. Soft blues, pinks and whites throughout the room with matching artwork and beautiful floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the countryside. Horses, cows, open fields. Exactly the sort of view that quietly tells your blood pressure to calm down. After settling in, I went exploring. The retreat is actually much smaller than I expected, but everything is thoughtfully laid out. Inside, there's a fitness studio, a surprisingly empty gym, a long corridor with different treatment rooms, a small cosmetics shop, a heated indoor swimming pool, steam room, and sauna. Outside is where it gets really interesting. There's a natural swimming pond, which looked absolutely beautiful. There's also a heated outdoor wellness dome, which I absolutely loved. I can already imagine sitting there on a cold winter's day with a good book. There's an outdoor Finnish sauna, an outdoor hot tub, which surprisingly had several people happily soaking despite the warm weather, and a guest-only relaxation area called the Hideaway. My first treatments were booked shortly after. Right on time, my therapist collected me from the lounge. First up, the tension to mare back massage, followed by a spa prescription facial. Both treatments were excellent. The therapist was fantastic. By the end of the massage, my back felt like melted butter, and after the facial, I genuinely felt like someone had quietly ironed my face. The treatment room itself was wonderfully cozy, but the biggest surprise, the treatment bed was actually a heated water mattress. I wasn't expecting that. Afterwards, I spent about an hour relaxing in the Hideaway lounge. There's a small indoor lounge with herbal teas, instant coffee and comfortable chairs. Outside is a little enclosed relaxation garden with lounges and hanging egg chairs. It's not huge, but it's peaceful. Back in my room, I switched on the television, where I was warmly welcomed as somebody else. The welcome screen had someone else's name on it. I contacted reception to mention it, but nothing changed during my stay. I'm guessing I wasn't the first accidental identity swap. The TV also lets you browse hotel information and watch films, although the movies aren't included. I made myself some herbal tea and sat quietly by the huge windows watching the countryside. Honestly, that alone felt therapeutic. Then it was time for what turned out to be my favourite spa treatment, cryotherapy. The therapist explained everything, completed the health screening and personalised the whole session. I even got to choose my own music. Naturally, I chose the Nigerian singer Flavour. Because if I'm going to freeze, I'm doing it with some good Afro beats. The whole experience was energising, surprisingly enjoyable. Then it was time for dinner at 6:30 p.m. Dinner was served in the retreat's restaurant. Menu choices are selected before arrival, so everything flows smoothly. The staff were warm, attentive and friendly. The 3-course dinner was included in my package, while drinks were extra. For starters, prawn cocktail. Absolutely delicious. For the main, pan-fried sea bass, beautifully cooked. Then, apple and blackberry crumble. During dinner, I was also given a complimentary fruit platter. Apparently, it should have been waiting in my room when I arrived, along with kombucha and protein balls included with the Premier sweet package. It somehow got forgotten. Not a disaster. Just one of several little details that started adding up. The evening ended how I'd hoped. Cup of herbal tea, watching the sunset through the glass windows. It was quietly magical. Stick around until the end because I'll let you enjoy that sunset with me. The bed itself was wonderfully comfortable. I slept incredibly well. The next morning, I briefly considered swimming in the natural pond. Then I noticed the local wildlife peacefully enjoying the water. It looked like they had booked the pond before me. I decided not to interrupt their morning meeting. Instead, I had the outdoor hot tub completely to myself for almost an hour. Bliss. After that, I tried the indoor Himalayan salt block sauna. This one felt noticeably different from other saunas I've used. It was certainly hot, but somehow gentler. I was sweating buckets without feeling overwhelmed by the heat. Breakfast was equally enjoyable. Scrambled eggs with smoked salmon on toast, fresh mango juice, and because life is too short for a free instant coffee, I paid extra for a proper cappuccino. No regrets. Checkout was quick and easy. An hour later, I was back home. Relaxed, refreshed, and smelling faintly of luxury skincare.
Turn right onto Harrow Road, then slide right onto Dunnings Lane.
There were several things that genuinely impressed me. Every member of staff I encountered was friendly, professional, and attentive. The atmosphere throughout the retreat was noticeably calmer than everyday life. Guests weren't rushing anywhere. Nobody seemed stressed. Everyone looked like they'd collectively agreed to lower their heart rate. One interesting feature was the Vita Jewel crystal water dispensers around the retreat. The gemstones sit inside a separate glass chamber, so they never actually touch the water. The idea is that the crystals transfer positive energy into the water. I drank several glasses. It tasted exactly like filtered water. As for the energy, I think I brought my own. Still, it's a lovely concept. I also love the digital detox safe in every room. It's basically a timed lockbox for your phone. Once locked, there's no override. If you want your phone back early, your only option is to physically destroy the box. That's commitment. Finally, all of the spa treatments use Germain de Cappuccini, a Spanish luxury skincare brand. I received some products in my welcome gifts and have continued using them since returning home. The textures were beautiful. The scents were lovely. My skin felt soft afterwards. Would I buy them? Maybe, once I recover financially. Now, for the things I think could be improved. Overall, I had a genuinely lovely stay. But considering the Premier Suite, treatments and package come to almost £500 for one night, expectations naturally become much higher. Luxury isn't just about beautiful decor. It's about consistency. It's about attention to detail. The little things matter. The bath needed fresh silicone and grout with a little mould visible. The shower head was loose. The bottle of complimentary water had an old, rusted cap. The welcome TV screen displayed somebody else's name. My complimentary fruit platter, kombucha and protein balls were forgotten until later. None of these issues ruined the experience. They're all relatively small, but when you're paying luxury prices, those small details become the big details. So, would I return? Yes, probably. The treatments were excellent. The staff were wonderful. Cryotherapy alone almost convinced me. But I'd also hope those little luxury touches received the same attention as the spa treatments, because that's often what guests remember most. And finally, the best part of my entire stay. No commentary from me, just one beautiful Essex sunset. Sit back, relax, and let's watch the sun quietly disappear beyond the fields together. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed coming along with me, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next adventure.